guys did not yet, or if you guys did not open supply drops during that like 1 week, I think it was like 7 days you had, unfortunately, that camo is gone. You'll never be able to unlock it again. Very rare for anybody who wasn't able to get it, but it's not that rare because there's still a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying. I've got luck of the Irish camo. Yo, you're lucky, man. I actually missed out on the first 2 limited camos. I missed out on the Bloody Valentine, and I missed out on the Irish, the luck of the Irish. I wish I got that one, bro. That was such a nice camo. I still like that camo to this day. I mean, it's in the void is better, so I'm glad I at least got the best one out of them all. But still, man, I really do wish that I ended up getting those camos. They're still nice. I mean, the Bloody Valentine one is alright. I mean, it's not that great. It's not that nice. But there's still some other ones, man. There are some other ones that I wish I got. I don't know. Alright, guys, let's go. What is that now? We're 11 wins away? 11 wins away, right? I think we're 11 wins away. We're going on a streak with the wins. Yo, we're on a tear right now. We're on a tear. So we're at 89 wins, so we need 11 wins to go to unlock the triple play here in Black Ops 3 4. Subscriber Tyler is his name. Tyler, with that. We figured out what numbers to put on his account though. The numbers are how you spell out his name. I guess if you use like the numbers like on a telephone, on a phone, like that, I think those numbers are what unlocks it or something like that. That's cool. Oh, can you help me hit 400 subs, please? Yo, guys, subscribe to Temple. Subscribe to Temple, man. Go get him to 400 subs. Irish camos, the Bloody Valentine is not that good. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Bloody Valentine camo. I do like Irish camo a lot more. The Perkaholic, yo, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I think we just found ourselves another dead lobby, so we're gonna go ahead back out and start a new gun game real quick. The best camo that I don't have is the weaponized camo. Oh, I have that on my account. I have that one. 77% still positive camo. We need to get on that soon. We are getting close to unlocking that, man. We're getting close to unlocking that. 74. Someone said 74.
I'm not offending. There's more words in my head saying, I'm not offending anybody.
These guys are speaking very loud right now. I'm just gonna just play a nice little game. I think they're arguing. You guys want to hear these guys argue? Yo, let's listen to these guys argue real quick.
Small voice in my head saying, you're not offending anybody with the world.
floating through the silence in my cold skin. My body is wearing thin. My fears tell me I'll never win. My body is wearing thin. My body is wearing thin. And there's darkness here. The whole world I fear. In my room I seem to drown. But I won't let them take me down. I won't let them take me down. I won't let them take me down, down, down.
God, man. That is so sad. Makes me so sad.
I'll rise and I'll fall again, fighting off the violence in my cold skin. My body is wearing thin. My fears tell me I'll never win. My body is wearing thin. My body is wearing thin. And there's darkness here. The whole world I fear. In my room I seem to drown. But I won't let them take me down. I won't let them take me down. I won't let them take me down, down,
I said yes.
my body is wearing thin.
Tryharding so hard. I was in 4th. I was like, are you fucking serious? I'm sure. Yeah, I got purpose. I have the names. Is it bored to death? Because I don't know. die, and you cannot challenge that bomb hack glitch, you just got fucking destroyed by Mercy Speed. He's gonna run away. No, there will be. Get your Nazi death today. They're gonna have something.
Yeah, that's right.
Time experience. Put it on the blackout. It's not like Max 7. The PlayStation, yeah. I mean, it kind of does. It's pretty good. Cool. Makes it make me feel stupid now. Let's go. Just so you know, Ramsey, you're a fucking idiot. Oh my god, my fucking connection can just go off itself. Yes. I said that like why are they both there with LOL, haha, they well, like, the thing is, I don't want to make, like, a Cat 3, like, series, but, yeah, it's a Cat 3. They had to make the alternative to make the AFK. He's AFK. He just missed him. Are you doing extra credit or not? Please, oh my god, he hit fire.
We all want everything to be perfect, but life is hard, and sometimes you gotta wonder if it's worth it. I don't know, but I can give you a hope that won't fade away, so you can keep your heart safe. You don't have to be downhearted. Let's return to where we started. You don't have to be downhearted, 'cause I will be the one fighting for you. I'm fighting for you. When our love is awake, I will fix your mistakes. When the world takes hold,
I'm not
it
challenging.
never lets you go. Through the snow, we got a long way left to go. But you don't have to be
Oh my god, I'm gonna pop the fuck down. I'm done.
Let's
You're a fucking
return to
girl.
where we started. You don't have to be downhearted, 'cause I will be the one fighting for you. I'm fighting for you. When our love is awake, I will fix your mistakes. When our love is awake, I will fix your mistakes. Downhearted.
I need to be watching it at home. I'm a fucking idiot. Why am I so fucking... I just probably missed it. Please tell me I missed it so I can fucking punch myself. I have 560. That's why. I'm suspecting. No chance.
They're gonna try and hit through under
Bravo. Hey, Bravo. What's the schedule?
lot. So it just seems like 3 of the 4 United players are completely destroying anyone in front of them, and Epsilon just can't even respond. The trades aren't just...
What's up next?
Now starting at $2.99.
With Egg with a 100-point club.
Speaking about the L-Carnine, it just tracks some kid. Yeah, good luck. Alright, I'm gonna look at the schedule. MLG, Anaheim. pushing. No, I'm playing Surge. I think I'm really how do you assume the best? Oh my god, he didn't fucking die, Noah. He didn't die. He didn't fucking die from a whole clip from the BMP. Get what I don't fucking have the angel leg for. I'm fucking quitting right now because we just lost. Because my teammates are fucking dire. Oh fuck that. That's cancer. That's fucking. That's bingo and fucking stretch. No. No. It's annoying, Noah. Fucking just guarantee you see a bingo. Guarantee you see a bingo. Guarantee fucking bingo. Fine. Fine. Noah. One fucking game. I am arguing because it doesn't exist anymore. Watch my teammates die. Yeah, check fucking shit out. Yeah, bro. was that now? Yup, this is such cancer right now. Love this game. Loving it. Bitter. Let's go, Bitter. Bitter straight. Bitter bullets. Well, the fucking thing is slicing beef in their head. You're literally the last one alive. You have to go plan. Yes. Yeah. Oh man. It's great. Love the game. Fantastic. Next thing you know, it's gonna be would have been fucking just literally turned off this. Like, you're fucking terrible. Yeah, I can't. Oh my god. Get the fuck. You can't get any more kills. That is where you're fucking up the head. How can you not put him in the game?
You better be ready for the fight.
And they're about to play.
But I
This is annoying. Can you just stop, dude? Be greatly appreciated. I just got melted by the RK5. Oh my goodness, can you not? Yeah, it would be. It would be. It's basically a gun game, Fort gun game with your house all the way down. Like for safety. When it even cancers with the hardcore gun game today.
to the moon that follows, to the night that covers,
Big challenge.
to the day when love
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? No, dude. No, not right now. Oh, just go green. There you go. Oh my gosh, SVG shot. Jesus. guys haven't heard me the whole stream, but we're about to listen to MLG TV.
Middle F, one wave of 4 kills. You're going to have to kill them out of their base for a second time.
Now, my favorite part of watching Uplink is Jerd. I mean, we talked about
My
Zero.
favorite part
A
of
lot of
watching
players
Infinite
saying
Warfare
he
Uplink
definitely
is-
deserved the MVP title at Stage 1, and he's up in the running for greatest player in the game right now. But for me, when you watch Uplink, watch Jerd. His fast play style, the SMG, the aggressive play. It's always so fun to watch because not only does he get the early picks, he's also going to convert this into a 1-point toss or a 2-point dunk if he gets that extra kill.
Yeah, Jerd, very crafty with the movement. So I think when you get the drone in his hands, he can do a lot of nice things with it. You know, knocks down those 1-point throws with relative ease. But I think Splyce, you know, you look at this team, you have Bance, Jerd, and Zero. 3 players who you really trust with the drone in their hands. I think it's definitely something a lot of other teams don't have.
And one of the scariest parts of Splyce, you saw it at Stage 1, and when they played up against Evil Geniuses, all 4 members are feeling comfortable with an ERAD in hand on this map. That's something that very few teams can pull off on the counter end. Very few teams are that good with SMGs. I think that is going to be one of the keys to victory for Splyce in this one. If you're Bittersweet, you got to keep up the pace. You have to keep up with guys like Zero and Madcat, who are surprisingly strong with an ERAD on this map.
Yeah, I'm interested on the side for Bittersweet to see how Mox plays on this one specifically, just because he's a little bit of a slower AR player. We talked about it on Throwback. This is a map that's very fast. AR players typically have a pretty difficult time on this map because you have so many players coming at you so quick with SMGs. So interested to see how Mox plays in this 3rd map.
This is your winner's bracket, round 1. Only 8 teams advanced to the winner's bracket from pools. Splyce, of course, they had a bit of a struggle early on, but on the other side of the stage, Bittersweet, they're undefeated in this tournament. They've gone to some Game 5s, but this is the first time they find themselves down 0-2. Will they be able to battle back? Are they mentally strong? I think this game is going to tell us a lot about this new squad.
Look, Splyce is a championship team. They turn up when it matters the most. You know, they get through groups. Now they go into the winner's bracket, and they probably look at that bracket and say, hey guys, man, this first matchup against Bittersweet may be in fact our toughest going forward. Before we hit a winner bracket final, we need to come out and play our best.
Now, in the previous matchups, it was Splyce playing Cloud9. That one was 6-3 Splyce, relatively low scoring for Frost. When Bittersweet played, they went up against FaZe, and they were able to win that one 9-8, a nail-biter. Lots of interceptions were in those games, so keep your eyes not only on the players attacking with the drone, but the defenders. Can they jump up in front of that uplink satellite? Can they grab the drone out of the sky? To open things up, we go to Bance, who leads all players when it comes to scores per game. He's averaging 5.25 scores when it comes to uplink.
Pretty crazy number for Bance. You wouldn't really kind of categorize him as their objective player, but you see the drone in hands of Mox going for a 1-point play. He's going to connect. So it's going to be Bittersweet getting on the board. First, Lamagod working on 3 streak and make it 4. As he just destroys Zero with the ERAD. Lamagod getting off to a good start here in our 3rd map.
The mammal deity Lamagod doing work early on. It leads to a 1-point play. Mox putting in the first score, but now it's Splyce's opportunity. You have Bance looking for the 1-point toss. He has 2 players in front of him. It's going to be Jerd, the key one, though. And there is the interception we talked about. Lacefield picks up 2 kills. The drone is snagged from him on the way down, and that's going to keep Bittersweet with the lead.
Yeah, Bittersweet just times their jumps. They had 2 or 3 players there going up into their goal. That throw was not going to go in. Bance would need to wait a little bit longer to make that throw go in. Just get those players coming on the way down, not on the way up. But you see Lamagod now out of position. The drone going the other way. Splyce trying to turn this into points.
And Jerd is all alone. He knows there's 2 defenders, so he's just going to reset his armor, waiting for teammates to come help or even distract. Tries to thread the needle there to the right. Unfortunately, it's just down and to the right. Is this drone going to be cleared? It looks like it is, Matt. And now it's on the move in the hands of Lamagod. Bittersweet looking for the counterplay.
Yeah, Bittersweet pretty fortunate there. They're going to get, oh, it's going to be Madcat flying in, picking it up. Thought we were going to see a 1-point play go through. But if that drone doesn't go off the map, Bance gets into their base, picks up a 2-piece, grabs that drone. That is a 2-point play for Splyce. So Bittersweet gets pretty fortunate there.
3 kills in the feed in favor of Splyce. Drone moving up. Mad Cat's gonna dump this one off. He wants to be a blocker. The drone's gonna be thrown through by Bance. That is the first of his 5.25 average. We'll see, will he continue to get some dunks as this game goes on. Spacely cleans up 2 in the middle of the sub. Looking for a third, a 3 streak now for Spacely, and now a 4th. He's killed every member of Splice. He's gonna try and do it one more time as they come in for a dunk.
Oh, but it was actually Jerd on the other side of the map, so he picks up a kill and then he gets the drone off. So you were on Spacely's POV, like, oh, he's just murdering through everybody. Where's his teammates? That's exactly what Phil was talking about. You got to get 2 waves of kills. Spacely pushes forward. There's some players that get lingering behind from Splice. They're able to stop that push.
Bance is playing phenomenal. 9 and 4 at this point, more than double positive. He's already been involved in the objective play, and he's leading the charge here. The defenders of Bittersweet will pick him up, but that drone should have gone in. That is the second miss from Jerd. Some of the most rare misses I've ever seen. This is a guy who hits 90% of his shots.
Yeah, the first one was pretty tough. You know, the first throw he missed, he's coming through the window, 2 players, but that is one he definitely should have connected with. There are some points that are left, you know, not on the board in favor of Splice there. Jerd had an opportunity to put them up 1.
Now you wonder what Spacely's doing. If you look at the mini-map, he's surrounded by all of those yellow arrows. Consider those sharks, basically. Spacely, he's the chum, baiting everyone to the sub-bay. Meanwhile, trying to buy time for his teammates to come off spawn and take control of the outdoor area. Unfortunately, though, your E-Rads, they're not as strong as the boys on Splice. Bance picking up 4 kills. Mad Cat's in the feed. Seems at short range, Splice, they're just winning these one-on-ones.
Yeah, this is a map we've seen them do this on. You see Zero with a K-bar in hand. He's just going to try and lock down this middle of the map, able to pick up 2. One more player, Jerd, comes in and cleans it up. And now they know where this last player is. They're going to take the drone far away from Lacefield. They're going to try and push this one back in towards the sub-bay. Only a minute left. Splice trying to add to their score.
Zero was dribbling the drone, leaves it behind for a teammate, but Mox single-handedly stops this from being a dunk. He picks up 2 kills, an interception comes in. The score's still 1-1. How many times have we seen Splice threaten inside Bittersweet's base, but it's an individual player that goes off with either an interception or some key kills?
Yeah, that time Mad Cat trying to get a 1-point play going through, but it was Lacefield with the interception. But it does not matter. Splice off the spawn. They pick up a few kills, but not able to get that second wave. 3 kills come in favor of Bittersweet. Mad Cat still, though, the only one alive. Gets 2. Is he able to get the 4th? Oh, no, not able to get that 4th player. Everybody else spawns on that back helipad. That would have been a sick play. Mad Cat actually gotten 2 kills, picked up a 3rd, not able to pick up that 4th kill in time.
If only the E-Rad printed those bullets just a little bit faster. Llama God, with 10 seconds left, is going to go for 1 desperation throw. He's going to get there with about 2 on the clock, I believe, but does he have enough height to get this one in? Buzzer beater, not going to happen. Couldn't get there in time as he went for the low wall run.
But still, if you're Bittersweet, keep it low scoring. You know, you don't have that explosive slaying to go at Splice with these E-Rads in hand. You keep it low scoring, you keep yourself with a chance to win this game.
And there is just a prime example of what Jerd does in the round-ending kill cam, sliding around, dodging the shots. Splice, they come into this one all tied up, but they have a 2-game advantage in the best of 5. A win here in the second half sends them to the winner's semis. Bittersweet, they need to win 3 straight games, and they're looking to take the lead early on here as the second half kicks off.
See Lamagot trying to work his way towards drone mid-map. He's going to get a touch on it, and now bring it back towards his teammates. And you see Splice. As soon as 2 players drop, they back all the way up. They're going to make Bittersweet outgun them, trying to push forward.
Scare blown up, and so is the rest of the team. Lamagot cutting through players. His teammate Mox with drones. 2 defenders in position, and that one was read like a book. Bance snatches it from the sky. He's 75% of the way to that camo, which could be devastating as this game goes on. On the other end, Mox, he's only about 60. He needs to score more kills and be the first one to put this camo into action.
And another interception on the other end. So
again.
You see Lacefield with his 2nd interception of the game. I don't know if that one would have went in. It looked like it was going to fall a little bit short. You see some streaks being called down now. Spacely and Co. trying to work their way through sub-bay. But it seems like, Chris, every time we see these teams go off, they get the drone, they get that first wave of kills. It's that second wave of kills that Phil was talking about that they're not able to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, you have a man without a gun, right? You have the drone in hand, so you're going to be outgunned every time. I feel like maybe there's a little bit too much pressure from the Bittersweet players thinking they have to force it through. Big plays from Zero, though, in the base. Almost gets it there, but the goal line defense is going to stall it for about 10 more seconds until Mad Cat's able to pick up the rebound and dunk that one home.
That time you saw the second wave come in for Splice, but now it's going to be Bittersweet on offense here. It's going to be 3 kills in their favor. They have the drone in a good spot. Let's see if Lamagadi, he's going to throw it down. He's going to set up, try and pick up some more kills. And this may not result in points. It's going to be 1, but it got kind of scary there. If Lamagadi goes forward with the drone, that may have been a 2-point play.
I don't know. I think he did everything right there, because if he gets those 2 kills, it's a guaranteed dunk. You have 2 players behind you. Even if you trade out just one-on-one, you're giving yourself a better opportunity. So I like that Bittersweet is mixing things up, because clearly going for just 1-point tosses, it's not going to work. Too many people in position to intercept from Splice. Now, though, keep your eyes on the payloads. Madcat has unlocked his overdrive. That's going to give him superhuman speed as he could dunk one through. At this point, though, he's just looking for the spawners. The drone's going to pick up Amelius Zero. He's going to do it all by himself. Madcat blocks the spawns, and the dunk goes through to make this a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that melee was huge by Zero. He cuts from the top side of your minimap all the way back towards your middle. They're able to put in a 2-point score. And now Lacefield, he gets drone Spacely with yet another 2-piece. I feel like we said that a few times, but they're not able to turn it into points. Lacefield forced to throw the drone down. Players converge from Splice.
Looking at the numbers, I mean, Lamagadi continues to impress at +6. Spacely slowing down a little bit. He's -3. Lacefield, not a big factor in the attacking game at -8, but he has had those 3 massive interceptions to keep this game close. But as this game goes on, Splice, they're winning more and more gunfights, and they are starting to rack up the scores. Another interception coming in as the score remains 5-2. But man, this is getting dangerously close every single time Splice attacks.
Yeah, Bittersweet just playing so far in the back of their base. They just cannot get out of this area. Whether it's Madcat coming through the sub bay, Zero, making plays with the drone. More kills come in favor of Splice. They have active camo. They're going to pass it forward to Bance, and here it comes.
Here comes the pain train. Choo-choo. Bance is going to clean up the kills afterwards. They're looking for a second round. Unfortunately, 2 players from Bittersweet, they're on the hot break. It's basically overdriving it. He's going for the counter dunk. 1 player to beat, and what a play from Zero. Smacks Spacely out of the sky. The drone drops without scoring. Splice looking to send this one home strong.
As if it couldn't get worse for Bittersweet here in map number 3. Spacely pops the overdrive, thinks he's home free for a 2-point play. Zero meets him at the goal, rejects him for that 2-point score. Now Zero on the other end trying to get this 1-point toss off, not going to connect, but man, Bittersweet, this has been a rough game number 3 for them.
We talk about the ERADs, Matt, and I think that was the difference maker. Keep your eyes on the kill feed, bottom left. What do you see? It's Madcat, it's Churd, it's Bance, all with the ERAD in hand. Only Zero was running the K-bar. He's picking up quite a few kills himself at 25 and 23, but it's the other 3 from Splice that have been setting the tone in this game.
Yeah, it's just been the pressure from Splice that has been way too much for Bittersweet. Zero with a melee, pops reactive, trying to lead the way for some more points. They would have had him if they wanted him, but it doesn't matter. 12 seconds left. This game's going to Splice.
Bittersweet, they're not out of the tournament, but they're heading to the losers bracket. Splice moving on to your winners bracket semifinals. Give it up for your stage 1 champions. What a team effort, all 3 games. It got close at times. The first half of the hard point, so tight. Splice, though, they turn up in the second half. They blow out the doors from Bittersweet. The search and destroy, 3-3. It's tied for a moment. Second half, it's all Splice again. In this uplink, though, I feel like it was just Splice from the beginning. They had so many opportunities to score, and they really made those count in the second half.
Yeah, that is the Splice we saw at the Stage 1 playoffs for the Global Pro League. We did not see it thus far this weekend. I kind of agreed with the analysts. I didn't know what to think of them coming into this match, but they showed up in a big way.
Congratulations to Bittersweet for going perfect in your pool. The bad news is Splice slipped up and you had to meet him in round number 1. So Splice is moving forward, and I know all eyes are now going to turn to Epsilon and E United. Are we going to see that rematch for Splice a little bit later in this tournament? Remember last time they matched up, it was Epsilon who beat them in the grand finals, not once in a best of 5, but a perfect twice, 6 straight games.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know Splice, speaking of those guys, they definitely want revenge against that Epsilon lineup. But Epsilon, to get there, they'd have to go through an E United team who has a lot to prove this weekend.
A lot going on still here in Anaheim, and I can't wait to hear from the players right now. We got our Stage 1 MVP on the main stage with Courage.
We most certainly do. Splice just made made it look easy on the main stage going up against Bittersweet. You've stopped their very hot road so far, so congratulations to you there, Zero. But first off, I just asked you, who have you even lost to so far this weekend? You said Rise Nation. I want to talk first about what did not work in that series.
Well, we didn't start off hot. We haven't really started off hot that well. In the hard points, we've always started off slow, which kind of hinders us like further on in the games. S&D, they're a really good S&D team. That's what they're known for. So, and no one's played them since the stage 1 week. So, yeah, it was a new team to play basically. We didn't know what they were doing. So yeah, that's basically what happened.
Well, you guys have most certainly bounced back from that one, cooling down Bittersweet there. Moving forward, though, another guaranteed top 6 now for you boys. Looking ahead in this tournament now, is there anyone you guys are afraid of, who you're watching out for, who you're trying to study as you could potentially face them later on?
Oh my God.
I'm not scared of anyone. My team aren't scared of anyone either. We just want to play Optic, really. That's who we want to play. That's how you cement your mark in this game, by beating Optic, which I consider the best.
Well, one final question for you. You're not the only European team still in it. Obviously, still matches going on all around the venue. Any words for European brothers out there? Anyone watching online rooting on this region?
I mean, we're here to win. I'm not here to. We're still in the tournament. I'm not here to support anyone. So, no.
Oh, I like it. All right, it's you versus the world. Zero's the MVP for a reason. Congratulations again, my friend. They'll be playing on more this weekend. But for now, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, more action on the CWL Anaheim Open main stage. We've got one final match tonight. Optic Gaming versus Luminosity.
Not really. It's fucking 0-7. Oh my God! The connection! It's 3 for this fucking. Can we just fucking realize now that we're fucking getting nailed?
Father's Day is almost here. Get to Guitar Center now to save up to 20% on great gear for dad and more. Like this Williams digital piano for $159 or these Beyerdynamic headphones for $179. Save big on gifts for dad this weekend at Guitar Center, in-store and online.
Watching the biggest head glitch in the fucking world. Here they fucking come. Oh wow, your fucking connection's all funky. Wait, what? The gaming. Oh, this is the elite. I think gaming first. Watch me fucking this. Oh wait, so is this for finals? Oh shit. Yes, Splice definitely took fucking his ass. If you can't find me in that game, you'll try everything. We don't need to. Wait. Awesome. Fucking my communications and PlayStation Network fail. I can't. I have to connect to the internet.
Welcome back to the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, here at day 2 of the CWL Anaheim Open. Plenty of games going on our side stations, but congratulations, of course, to Splyce. They progressed through to the winners bracket semifinal after that 3-0 victory. But for now, I do want to go to a live looking over on the Charlie station. Team Envious are fighting up against Allegiance in what is an interesting game. This is for top 24. And Envy was down 2-0. They did manage to win map number 3, and I believe they are ahead as well in the uplink. We'll jump into that one. Current score 191 to 119, but an interesting little gem. Proof, I was curious, right? Because when I found out that Envy was 2-0 down, I was like, I wonder what the worst placement in history would be. Well, if they lose this, that's it. The second worst placement actually involved you, so sorry to go down memory lane, but
I need them to replace that record. I need them to replace that.
Back to UMG Atlanta 2013 top 16. That's currently Envious's worst ever placement in Call of Duty history.
Why'd you do that?
You know what? I need them to win. I want to be remembered on Envy for something, even if it is a top 16.
Oh, dearie me. Well, for Envy, they are ahead here, and they're looking to try and force a game 5, but just watching this game briefly, it hasn't looked like the same Team Envious we're used to watching, though.
The same? Well, actually it has. They've been pretty horrible.
Touche.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's just kind of what's been happening. I mean, recently we're just not sure what's going on, whether it's chemistry, you know. I mean, finally you're getting a great game out of John and Slasher. Apathy, I believe in game 2 dropped like 12 kills and they lost it. Again, they went down 2-0. The only game they've won this weekend is a reverse sweep, so they're making it very difficult on themselves. And yes, if they lose this, they would finish like top 24. That's absolutely ridiculous. Nobody would have predicted that.
I swear it feels like Envious always goes to game 5s. No matter what the roster is, they're always going to game 5. They're always putting them pressures on themselves. I know Hastro probably watches events like, oh my god, here we go again. Another game 5, I'm getting too old for this.
Just saying that too, huh? He's getting old. Guy's worse than Stro.
Right? God, his blood pressure not going to be good. As it stands out, 240 to 134. Envy with a sizable lead here against this Allegiance squad. However, Spoof, who has impressed you, Teep, you keep saying, oh, you know, Spoof's playing well, Spoof's playing well.
Love his gamer tag.
It's pretty good. It just reminds me of Proof. I think he ripped it off.
Gamer tag.
Copyright, dude. You should have put some copyright on that. But 244, 148. Allegiance still in it for now, but the question for how long doesn't look like much longer. If it does go the distance to a game 5, I'm curious to get your thoughts. It's going to be a retaliation S&D team. Are you confident there with Team Envy?
I think you have to be, and for how many times these semi-pro teams have gone up in a series, it seems like they play all their cards out, all their energy sort of goes out in that series overall, and that's what allows these guys to perform or get reverse sweep on. So I think if it does go down to, which looks like Envy only needs 2 points left here in this hard point. One more thing I want to bring up though is John, 33 and 14. Has he had a game like that in Infinite Warfare?
I'm not sure.
It's been a while. That's the John me. I'm saying, like last year, it seemed like every other hard point he was dropping like 40 kills, just making it look easy. Where has that John been? Finally, he shows up there at the perfect time. They don't want to get top 24, but we need to see that a little bit earlier on in the tournament for these guys. The fact that he hasn't been there is just causing a lot of issues for these guys in the slaying category. We get it there, though. We're going to see him at 5. It's going to be very fun to watch.
Well, that series, of course, still going to be commencing elsewhere on the Delta station. Mindfreaker taking on Vitality, so happy for you Aussies, they finally won a map. Let's go.
They did it.
They won the hard point 250 to 181. I was thrilled. Then we went to map number 2 and it was 6-1 Mindfreak. I was like, oh, here we go. They're going to have a series and like a series win. Then Vitality win the link 9-4. And I can tell you, looking at the left-hand side screen, I believe it is going to be Vitality who are up 208 to 125. So potentially another game 5. Of course, those last 2 games that we're seeing, they're losers bracket matchup. You lose that, you're top 24. Very, very poor performance or poor result, I should say, for those squads. As well, elsewhere, we did have a winners bracket round number 1 game. That was Epsilon versus E-United. That one, Proof, Merc, I know you guys were watching that one. It started off very, very well, Proof, for United. It was a 250 to 157 win.
Almost 3 players on E-United having 30 bombs. And after I saw that, I was like, okay, I shouldn't have said E-United is gunless without gunless. But then the next 3 maps, are all in Epsilon's favor. There's no contest. I could break it down. The 6-1 was the search and destroy. I don't feel like United could get anything going. Then you go into the uplink. It's 3-2 at halftime. Vortex is 18-11.
Wow.
And then they stop RCD's camo play to tie it up 7-7 and reverse that into a dunk. I think that's where they lost the uplink.
I think the crazy thing, Mark, was the game 4, right? 250 to 64. It almost felt like United just unplugged their controllers.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Dave was just going off of, well, here we are in game 1, and again, United, they came out swinging. Epsilon, very slow start. Just seems like maybe they were just warming up. Sometimes that happens. You know, maybe you haven't played for a while. I mean, we've sort of all been through that. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get back in that zone, but you can see we thought for sure. Yeah, Pristini going off. Silly, triple positive at this point. They did a great job. But you can see at this point, I believe that score was, they were up like 150 points. Epsilon started clawing back. You could tell that they were warming up, but game number 2 was all Epsilon, as Proof said, 6-1. And this is what we were talking about was, you know, when you replace a player, Search and Destroy is that game mode that's just affected so much more than anything else. It requires so much teamwork, just split decisions, where like Retaliation S&D with Gunless, that was like almost a guaranteed win with those guys.
Right.
I remember so many games where Gunless was just going off, dropping 10 plus kills. It's a huge effect on their Search and Destroy game. And then here's that crazy game number 3.
And of course, you see it on your screens now, the replay package coming through. For Epsilon, you know, they managed to clutch up when they need to, and that is going to be the important thing. 9-5, the final score in the European favor. And of course, that will now set up Battle of Europe in our winners bracket semifinal. Splyce versus Epsilon. Excited to see that one get underway. Of course, that will be tomorrow on Championship Sunday. Curious to get your thoughts on that matchup. I do actually want to hear how you see that one going. Mark, I'll start with you.
You're so man, that's tough. Obviously, Epsilon beat them twice at Birmingham. Well, Splyce beat them once in the winter final. Then we go to the grand final.
Yes.
Epsilon comes back, beats them 6-0. It makes it look very easy. Splyce, though, they just said, you know, we weren't really in that series. Things just weren't going right. I think it'll go the distance. I am going to go. I think I'm going to stick with Splyce. I do really want to see that Splyce versus Optic final, but I think it will go to a game number 5.
Real quick, want to just jump into a Delta Live look. Of course, this is actually going to be Mindfreak versus Vitality, and as you can see, it's 244, 243. The Australians fighting for their lives. The kills coming
Look
through.
At Buzzo.
It looks good for Mindfreak to take it, and they will indeed. 250 to 244. A great result from them, and Mindfreak now will have that first series win under their belt. I'm calling it. They're going on a losers bracket streak, team.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's enough momentum.
That was the boldest prediction.
Yeah, you went. Okay, Ben, settle down.
Mindfreak top 8.
How far is that run, man?
Top 8.
Wow, that's a sprint. Oh my God.
Yeah, but hey, first series win. It's some sort of momentum for these guys, and most importantly, Buzzo has a killer game right there. What did he finish with? 35 kills, something like that. A huge performance from him. Finally, that we have been waiting so long through Anaheim, or a lot of tournaments in general, to see. So it's a good start for them.
Obviously, just to go back to the original point, the Splyce versus Epsilon matchup. Proof. What are your thoughts on that? How that one's going to go down?
I think that's going to go to Game 5 as well. And I think Splyce comes out 3-2. And they get to play. They get to play each other more often, being from the same region. So I know they know each other's play styles.
Okay. All right. TP, how do you see the series going?
I think that last series you saw from them, where Epsilon was able to take it 6-0, it was a purely confidence thing for me and Splyce. They weren't really sure what they were capable of at that time. They got the Stage 1 playoff win under their belt, beating some of the best teams that we have in the CWL. I have Splyce taking that one fairly convincingly 3-1.
Okay, well, of course, we saw Splyce with the 3-0 result over Bittersweet. Sadly for Bittersweet, their fairy tale run does put an end. Of course, they're still in the tournament. They go down into that losers bracket, and of course, so they still have their chance. But I do want to go take a look at some of the score streak questions we were asking. Score streak prediction game. It's MLG.tv/COD. Map number 1, we asked, will any player finish game 1 with minute 45 or more hardpoint time? 67% of you said yes. 33% of you said no, and that was the correct answer. Of course, this was Bittersweet Splyce. Hardpoint throwback, it ends 250 to 167. Teep, would you have said yes or no on that one?
It's a really tough one. I think I would have said yes, though. A lot of these times, especially in a lot of these hard points, I feel like these guys are getting 2 minutes pretty consistently, at least one of them. So I think I would have got that one wrong.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, being honest.
I definitely would have went with no. I think it's hard to get a minute and 45 unless you're Nelson.
Well, like,
well, yeah, I guess so. No, but yeah, throwback hardpoint is very contest heavy. I just think a minute 45 is a little bit too much on that. But a map like Retaliation, or a breakout where your teammates can sort of push, and you're just kind of hanging out in the hill because your teammates have pushed the spawns out so far. One of those maps I definitely would have went with, yes.
Very true. All right, map number 2, of course, and that was the Retail Search and Destroy. Splice take it 6-3. We asked, will Llama God finish with 8 or more kills in game 2? 45% said yes, 55% said no. He did finish with 4 kills. I mean, has Llama impressed you in Search and Destroy team?
Oh, most definitely. He's been probably, arguably their best player, but I think that was more leaning towards the respawn side of things. I'm not really sure how he's been doing S&D wise, so I think I would have gone with the crowd in that one and said no.
Okay, fair enough. Both in agreement there?
I think I would have went with A, just because the one time I did get to see Llama, he clutched a 1v3 on throwback in Search. They're all flying through the window on him, he just pisses them all up. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Give it to him.
Fair enough.
No, yeah, I think I would have went with no. I think Mox has really been one of their better S&D players. He's picking up a lot of kills with the MV4, so for Llama, yeah, you know, 8 kills, that's a pretty darn good game, but I probably would have said no.
Fair enough. Game 3, of course, that was the uplink on Frost. 8-2, Splice take it. We asked, how many points will Splice score in the first half of game 3? 3% got it right. It was 0-2. They only got 1 point. 69% were feeling a little ambitious there. 3-5. 4% said 9 or more. That's very ambitious. I feel like Splice uplink. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like all of you would have got that one wrong.
Yeah, 100%. I was going with B or C.
Whoever the 3% is, they're just like, yep, that's the one.
They just hate Europe, dude. They just hate Europe. They're just like,
they flip the coin. They're like, all right. Hey.
I would have said C for sure. Splice one of the best uplink teams.
Yeah. Completely agree. All right, we'll take a look now at our leaderboard. See if the highest streak has currently been broken. It's 12, and it's still XZBen97_. Reaper right behind him, but the 7 was knocked off. There was a 7 down there previously, so 8 is that benchmark. And of course, you can play the score streak prediction game exclusively at mlg.tv/COD. Right there, you'll find the enhanced viewing experience with up-to-date event statistics, the score streak prediction game, of course, and source quality. Everyone loves a good old source quality, that's for sure, but the prediction game, my favorite. Of course, you can win badges, you can really show off just how good you are at predicting the result. And again, moving forward, we should talk a little bit about NBA ALG. That is in Game 5. We are going to go to a live look in that match. Of course, that's the Charlie Station. For MB, it's a lot on the line. You don't want to finish top 24. It would be their worst placing in Call of Duty esports history for that organization. They were currently 2-0 down, I should say, to ALG. They're starting that reverse sweep. And it's a weird one, see, because we've seen so many potential reverse sweeps here in Anaheim.
Yeah, it all starts with that map number 3. We've called it the swing game for however long now, and it just always proves true. For whatever reason, that momentum boost that you get, and more importantly, even more momentum on that map number 4 hardpoint. And when you're just slaying out that much, I feel like whoever is that player that goes off on the map number 4 is going to carry that confidence, that gun skill overall into the Search and Destroy.
Yeah, I agree. It's like calling a timeout. You get that map win, you slow the other team's momentum down, and you kind of build yours and go from there.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, I mean, John, he was, what, 33 and a lot? Right now he's 0-3, and you need him to step it up. You also need, a player like JCap to step up. He had a bad game 4, but he's stepping it up right now. So these are the 2 guys who you want to see do really well. And then Apathy, of course, he had 12 kills in that game number 2. He's obviously on par right now at 3-3.
And to bring John back up, man, in game 2, I believe he went 1-9 in the Search as well. So he really needs to step it up for his team in S&D if they expect to win this.
Definitely does, and that's not the best start for him either. 0-4 now he will be. And meanwhile, it's going to be a 2 versus 2 situation. 55 seconds left here in round 4. I mean, is this looking good for MBT?
It's kind of a weird situation right now. Everyone on the map seems a little unsure of what the positioning is of the other team, but looks like a decisive decision going to be coming in pretty soon here. Some shots going down onto JCap, so he's going to have to relocate as soon as possible. 30 seconds left, though. They got to start making a play.
Yeah, time is ticking. And MV recognize that, of course. They are on the attacking side here in this Search and Destroy, and Spoof is going to shut down App. The trade was there. Now you have yourself a 1 versus 1 situation. Believe at 3-1, JCap 5-2. Proof, do you believe right now?
I want to believe in JCap, but time is not on his side right now, and that's the only thing that's keeping me from going with him.
Oh, is he going to go for the bait? Of course, 10 seconds left. Believe may actually try and push this. Bomb does go down. He should be able to win this gunfight.
Oh my god.
He should be able to win this gunfight. Well, that just went completely terribly. JCap! Oh, JCap! Oh, no.
Schnaplin, baby. Schnaplin.
JCap showing them 2 rings. That boy showing them rings.
And that's what you need from a guy like this. He always plays extremely well. I remember Dallas and just some of their stage 1 games. If it goes the distance, JCap, similar to Clayster, he's some of the guy that just deals with the pressure. He knows how to play.
Without being the party pooper there, I feel like, yeah, okay, that's a good big kill from Cap, but there's no way that should have even gone to that scenario there, T.
Well, especially on scaffolding, you can just kind of jump up and check bomb. You can really do anything, use the movement to your advantage. So even if he's not planning there, get some sort of advantage in the gunfight. He just played it so scared, and that just never works. Pro tip, never play scared in Call of Duty. Not going to work for you.
I would have liked for him to get better positioning. You chose scaffolding out of all the possible positions you could have got to look at bomb. I would have maybe went plat, maybe went street, anywhere else besides putting that one lane to check bomb.
There's 6 other places.
Right? So many other places. Plat would have been my best bet.
Maybe.
After the initial gunfight where you saw him go to the bomb and he was shooting that Cap on bridge, I would have went right to Plat.
And again, that's one of those rounds where, like, I remember, who was it, Lethal and Rise, where someone lost a 1v1 and then the game just completely changes. This is one of those rounds where now the game changes, right? Like, NV picks up another round, and if they work off this momentum, it's going to be very scary for Allegiance because now the pressure's on.
Exactly, and how long is John going to have the donut? I don't think he's going to have it for long. Eventually, he's going to turn up.
Hey, man, you've been practicing your 007 theme tune.
We've been practicing it.
That's true. It's become an orchestra now.
Maybe
it really has.
Maybe he wants a donut.
John is 0-4.
No, we don't have Fat John anymore.
I wish we could see John's perspective. Of course, he is going to be number 8 on that mini-map. He's hanging around with his team. Envy are up 3-2. Of course, last round we did see Spoof with his payload ready to use, but didn't use it, and it was a very unfavorable kind of position he put himself into.
It's just a weird situation when there's 2 players walking in front of you. You really expect him to get at least one over towards those market steps, but it doesn't really work out for him. The biggest question, though, is JCap going to be able to earn those ever-important streaks?
Oh, come on, John.
Well, there's your kill. He's now 50 points away. John is 0-5. Proofy, get ready. Start warming up those vocal cords because you may be singing very soon.
I'm not doing it for John. That's my boy.
Oh, you
he
have
goes back and sees that he's going to not talk to me for months, and I can't have that.
Yeah, you have to.
He makes me happy.
Nova versus Apathy. 1 versus 1 situation. Apathy currently 5-4. For Nova, he's 2-5. Of course, if Nova is able to clutch this up, it will be tied up 3 rounds to 3. And for Envy, of course, that 4-2 lead looking very good. But Envy are on the attacking side, so do bear that in mind. And with 20 seconds left, Envy are going to have to make a decision sooner or later. And the only question is, will Nova read it properly? Time ticking, and that's going to be an easy win. And Allegiance tie things up.
Yeah, that's a huge win. And again, one of those 1v1 rounds where if that goes wrong, I mean, they have a 4-2 lead now. JCap's, what, 9-3 right now? Everything's just flowing well. And after winning sort of like 2 1v1s that you know you should have won, that's just demoralizing, you know, especially in a game number 5. And especially when you're up 2-0, there's just so much pressure on this Allegiance team now.
It really is. Do you as a player, Proof, do you start thinking about the reverse sweep? Do you start thinking, oh, you know, we were 2-0 up? Is that something that creeps into players' minds?
Just always one map at a time for me, and that's one thing I always preach whenever I'm sitting with my teammates. Don't focus on the scoreboard. Don't focus on the map count. Just play the game. Zone in. Communicate with each other, have conversations, and get locked into the game.
Speaking to that point, I think the communication is the most important. You can never let your team get quiet after a loss in certain maps. On some of the teams I've been on, when it's just sort of that dead, quiet lull of communication, it's one of the worst feelings you can kind of have on a stage like this, where everything, your tournament life is on the line. You cannot get quiet. Keep talking.
Yep. As this round comes through, of course the bomb has been planted. 38 seconds left. Cap's going to use the streaks and also find a pick. Never mind, the Spoof still does have that.
Let's go, John! Let's go, baby!
And John finally
There's no breadstick song.
Gets himself a kill. Hey, man, we can make a breadstick song.
Don't you dare. Don't play with me.
Cap's got 12 kills. Hey, Merc, you said it. Cap's one of those players. He's used to this big stage. I mean, he's stepped up massively. 12-3. Envy in a good position here to close this one out, Teep.
I really like that call, too. Cap says, nah, I'm getting that defused. I'll probably get streaks again before any of you guys do it. So that's a heads-up call right there. You can tell that sort of experience from Cap is taking over. Yes, he's just getting close to another Scarab, but the fact that he'll be able to use that scout out for information and possibly earn even more, really love the call there. It's the little things that pay off in Call of Duty. I really like that.
And one of the things typically we see on like an offensive round is to go to that outer bomb site. They decided to do it on defense. NV, they started off, they pushed out B. They said, okay, we can allow them to go to the bridge because we have this rocket. Typically you sort of see that flipped because you can plant the bomb.
Right.
Instead they called on defense. I like that play a lot. Cap's able to pick up 2 with a Trinity rocket. A great round by Envy.
Yeah, really well played. Good strategy coming from them. This one, though, still a 4 versus 4 here in round 8. Still waiting for that first blood to come through, but it should be coming in very, very soon. App puts down some shots, not able to find the pick, though. Team Envious may have to just kind of rethink that strategy as Slasher trying to get a little cheeky here, Teep.
Yeah, a bit of a weird spot here for Slasher as there's a bunch of people surrounding him. Can't win the gunfight, though. Very quickly, JCap's going to be stuck in the 1 versus 3, gets taken out, so even round count now. Most importantly, Cap is ended on that streak as well, so probably won't earn any more score streaks in the rest of this one.
I'm sweating right now, Ben. Nerve-wracking, you know? 4-4, this is top 4. If you're Envy, you're like,
it's top 24, you lose.
Please just win, right? You're just like stressed out of your mind.
It's like, it's embarrassing if you lose, like the worst place.
You could quite literally go home tonight.
I mean, if you wanted
I'll
to.
give yeah, sure. I'm just saying, you're out the tournament. I mean, Team Envious out the tournament on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. It's absurd. But as I said, they lose this top 24. It would be Team Envious's worst placement in Call of Duty history should it occur. Of course, Spoof has used his payload ability. No camo, Apathy, and Cap do have abilities to use, though. So I guess in terms of that, Envy do have a little bit of an advantage here, even though it is tied up, Team.
Yeah, for sure. Really expect them to try and pop some of these here. Apathy's going to get that first blood and still has the pistol at the ready.
As well.
No, I think he already had it.
Did he?
So, yeah, he decided not to pop it. A lot of confidence from them. Double first blood now, 2 versus 4 scenario. It's looking really bad for ALG in this round.
And this is where you still see the experience of Envy. Yes, they've been struggling, but even in, deep in the rounds, they're still playing aggressive. What you'll see a lot of the times is teams, when they start losing, just giving up map control. And that just makes it tougher on yourselves. You still have to challenge those gunfights, sort of trust in yourself to win that. And this is a huge defensive round for Envy.
Believe in a 1 versus 3 situation. 24 seconds left, of course. For Allegiance, they are on the attacking side, and that was really almost impossible for him to win. Picked a direction, tried to win the gunfight, just unfortunately couldn't.
Now, if you're ALG right now, I feel like their confidence is just shot. You were up 2-0, now you're down 5-4. I feel like Envious is going to take this next round.
Or at least
you would definitely.
I mean, look at their faces right now. They just look like they don't have it anymore.
They look like they're in the zone.
No, they're like, man, we just threw this series.
Oh, no way.
Not over just yet, of course. However, I think
Apathy does have that camo.
Yeah, I think when you kind of add that to the whole scenario, Merc, there's no way Envy should lose this round, or at least lose this game.
No, there's definitely a way.
Oh, there is?
We've seen it plenty of times, but Envy is one of those teams, they make smart decisions. And they typically don't choke these situations, but we shall see with all those payloads in use. And this is going to be a very tough retake for Allegiance.
Very, very tough indeed. 35 seconds left. Believe is going to find the first. That is John. Advantage numerically now to Allegiance. There's the second, almost the third. Slasher does win the gunfight. Of course, the Centurion is on that bomb site. Spoof desperately trying to find the final player. It's Cap. He goes down. And oh my God, we have ourselves a round 11 inbound. Allegiance versus Team Envious, a losers bracket matchup.
And I was worried because I didn't see Believe there. I didn't see him on that flank because I thought they just gave up that bomb plant. That's what I was talking about the round before. You can't just give up the map because it's 5-4. You have to challenge or trust yourselves, but Believe makes a good play. Somehow he gets around Envy and they're able to retake that bomb.
Hey, Proof. Looks like Team Envious is a little nervous now.
I mean, they still have the camo. I'm interested to see how they're going to use it this last round. You have to use it.
That's the key, right? It basically, the game is
if he doesn't pop that, sheesh.
Like, dude, what are you doing?
I don't know. Hanging out.
Hanging out, chilling.
Watching some Call of Duty.
8 and 7. All right, now, let's see. I really just want to see App's perspective. I'm not going to lie. He's the key player.
He is the player to watch this entire
He is the key player right here for Team Envious, and basically can make the play which could decide the entire series, or will decide the entire series if he's able to use it. Keep your eyes on that kill feed, of course, to see if App does fall. For now, it's still a 4 versus 4 situation. Still plenty of time to be played in this round. 52 seconds left.
Yeah, a lot of scouting going around on this map.
What's going to happen is they're using a lot of time, and when they actually do decide to go for that bomb plan, I feel like that's when the camo will be popped and for him to initiate that play.
Well, here is Apathy's perspective.
Oh, there it goes.
There is second. No, not like this. Not like this. Spoof finds one. John is out of trade.
Not like this.
The camo used by Apathy, and It was used to absolute zero effect whatsoever. Mayhem's going to shut down Jacob Apathy. Falls now. John, he's in a 1 versus 3 situation. He was in a donut to start the map. Now currently at 3 and 7, 30 seconds left on the clock. Team Envious's hopes and dreams of a high placement here at MLG Anaheim rested in his hands. Only 20 seconds to work with. He has to make a play, and he has to make it now. I don't think Nova Believe or Mayhem are going to throw this one away. He's been spotted. He's weak. 12 seconds left, and Envious are going home. Top 24.
That is absolutely heartbreaking. Wow, I'm lost for words.
I mean, all three of you at some point throughout your career have represented Team Envious. This is a massive organization within Call of Duty Esports, and the worst placement ever.
It's probably most of those guys like worst placements, right? Like these 3 players, or well, 4 players have been around for a very long time. Just not their weekend at all. There's definitely something wrong, just chemistry-wise.
Wow.
We'll see what happens with this roster.
Now, at the end of that round, because he ran by that guy, was that guy able to get a pick that was on somebody that was following Apathy?
He got the first blood. So instead of them getting that first kill easily, he just got a little unfortunate, didn't check all the way around the corner, gets his teammate blooded basically. I don't know who to really blame in that situation. It's just, it's literal like,
if he looks a millimeter further to the right-hand side, he sees the guy in the corner.
Yeah. That's heartbreaking. I don't know. When they go back and watch that, they're going to beat themselves up.
Yeah, but congrats to Allegiance. You know, this is a team who fought out of the open bracket, beat a great team. They're now, what, top 20, you know, at Anaheim. So huge props to those guys.
Well, of course, we still do have one more matchup to show you here at MLG Prime Time. That's everything from the studio for now. But up next on the main stage, it's Optic Gaming versus Luminosity.
Dude, Bittersweet got 0. We got sweet.
This is Elgato Stream Deck. Stream Deck is a USB controller that gives the power of a professional broadcast studio to your live streams. With Stream Deck, you can connect with your audience at the touch of a button. You can switch scenes, bring up graphics or dank memes, or even chat with your viewers with a single key press. Stream Deck has 15 LCD keys with the ability to create folders, meaning you can add hundreds of actions to a device that fits in the palm of your hand. Check out Stream Deck at Elgato.com, and through the end of the month, save 10% off your order with code MLG at checkout.
Father's Day is almost here. Get to Guitar Center now to save up to 20% on great gear for dad and more. Like this Williams digital piano for $159 or these Beyerdynamic headphones for $179. Save big on gifts for dad this weekend at Guitar Center, in-store and online.
Are we actually going to be serious? Or? So is the Argus basically they KSG? Is that what you're telling me?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MLG Anaheim, of course, the CWL Anaheim Open. Final game of day 2. Benson live from the studio, joined again by Merc, Proofy, and Chance. Thank you for joining us for this final game.
Yes,
it's Optic Gaming versus Luminosity. I'm so excited we get to see this matchup once again. Merc, will we see a similar result, however, this time?
I don't know, man. It's going to be very tough for Luminosity, as it always is, to consistently beat this Optic Gaming team, but I'm sure they're very confident, and it's something we always talk about. Luminosity, their ability to match the respawn power of Optic Gaming, it's just going to come down, I believe, to those search and destroys. And again, one of the biggest things you have to look at coming into this series is Crimsix versus Octane. Crimsix now running that NV4 for Optic Gaming. We'll see how he does.
For so long throughout Call of Duty Esports, you were known as the best AR shot in the game, so I have to get your opinions. Who wins this assault rifle battle? Is it going to be Octane, or does Crim have his number?
I think Crim is going to have his number. I've been watching Ian play with that NV4 this entire tournament, and my man is in bot mode. ready for this.
Okay.
He's got this.
Is that a thing? Are people
Let's
allowed
go,
to have
Grim.
Octane's number? Can you do that?
Oh, he has his number.
I mean, bear in mind how well Octane has been playing
This is what's gonna happen. Grim's gonna kill him like 10 times and afterwards go. You know what that is? That's Octane getting swept off his fingers. That's what's happening.
I don't know. Chance, do you agree with that?
Well, I don't think it's going to be as easy as just shaking him off the fingertips. I think best case scenario, it's going to be a toe-to-toe matchup. Worst case, I think Optic definitely has the edge. I mean, I don't even think they've dropped the map so far this tournament. They've looked great, but I mean, LG, that's like the team designed to take OG down. They match up perfectly.
Let's take a look at the map set. Throwback hardpoint, retail search, frost uplink. If it goes further, retail hardpoint, and then a breakout search and destroy. Merc, give me your expert opinion here.
Well, I'm really excited because what we were just talking about, that Crim versus Octane duel, we're going to see it on Throwback Hardpoint, where we saw Crimsix, go 30 and 10 in a game.
Yeah.
And that's just huge for them. If he's able to set up in those positions, he seems very comfortable on that map. But in terms of the rest of the map set, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be very tough for Luminosity. That Frost uplink, there's going to be a lot of E-Rads, and, you have Scump to deal with, and that's just not fun to do.
Very true.
You know, I see map 1 as throwback, and I'm going back to stage 1 playoffs where Octane just completely took Optic apart on this map.
Oh, no, but Crim has his number, No. Crim has his number. He's going to shake him off just like that, right?
No, he is. You know what? Screw what I just said. Screw stage 1 playoffs. Let's go, Ian.
All right, fair enough. Chance, your opinions?
I mean, if you're mixing things up, that's obviously great when it's working well, but LG, they're going to do their comfortable thing. They've been getting better and better and better. They're just trying to get to that #1 spot. Again, I think Optic has the edge. I think they pull this off 3-2, but LG, I mean, again, if they perform like they did back in the GPL, it could be a one-sided matchup.
Well, without further ado, it's time to get our final game of MLG Primetime underway. Optic Gaming versus Luminosity.
Oh, we hype!
Send it down to our time.
We're ready! Woo! This is gonna be a fun one, baby! Woo! We're giving ourselves a little bit of a pep talk as we get ready for Optic Gaming LG. The crowd fired up, ready to go. Jack, how you feeling? That's how we motivate each other.
Listen, California is known for being earthquake prone. I want this crowd to be so loud that they think we need to get the shelter because it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Optic Gaming versus Luminosity, and I can tell those boys right there want revenge from the Stage 1 playoffs.
This is going to be a wild one, and we take a look at it. I was looking through the maps. I mean, this certainly looks to be favored for Optic, but think about the history throughout this year. They face in the Atlanta losers bracket. Optic takes it in a game 5. They face off in the Dallas winners bracket. Optic takes it in a game 5. Luminosity 2 weeks ago gets revenge. And what's interesting too, we talk about the difficulties sometimes for Optic in winners bracket round 1. Where'd they play Luminosity in Dallas? Winners bracket round 1. They got a victory there, but this might be an opening for LG, buddy.
Oh, most certainly. And this LG, as you mentioned, as of late, they've started to get Optic Gaming's number with that most recent victory. This team has been improving. There is no doubt across the game modes. Right here, though, they want to beat Optic Gaming at a major open LAN event. That is a difference. These are the events where Optic Gaming just seem to excel. There's a reason why they've won the last 2, and they're looking to do the same thing here in Anaheim.
Well, what's interesting, we talk all year about Luminosity Search and Destroy. We saw them improve in Stage 1. They're now sitting at 50% this weekend, which is a good enough for them to win tournaments, you think. But you look back to when they lost in the game 5 in Dallas Optic Gaming, they lost both the Search and Destroy. So I think a lot hinges on that. But what's also interesting is you're going into 2 hard points in this series, Retaliation and Throwback, in which both these teams are playing at 100% win rate. What does it come down to for you, buddy? This is going to be fun. All right, getting ready to go. Crowd getting into
I'm sorry, guess what I was doing?
Yeah, I saw you on the corner of my eye walk off.
I ditched you. I was telling our director, I know the people at home want to hear it. We want to have some listen-ins right away between these squads. Folks in the venue, it is prime time. It's Luminosity versus Optic Gaming, a rematch from the incredible series at the Stage 1 playoffs. Let's get it started.
Here we go, the countdown in. We are off to the races and kicking it off with Saints from Luminosity. This is going to be a bloodbath. We all want this to go the distance. Give me an epic game 5 of the first gunfight going to Saints Second there at the edge, opening up nicely here for LG. 3 down for Optic.
A big reason why Luminosity and crew have performed better as of late is because this man Saints is back into form. He was one of the most consistent players in competitive Call of Duty, the only player in the entirety of competitive Call of Duty in Call of Duty Ghosts to go positive every single major event. We know what Saints can bring to the team with slaying power. He needs to do it here against Optic Gaming.
Absolutely does. Looking at Karma right now at mid-map. Classic gonna get the better of him, but 3 kills going the way of Optic Gaming. Some points racking in now. About to cross that 20-point mark. And this would be huge. I mean, you get 30-plus points on this opening train platform.
Yeah.
Brilliant start from Optic Gaming, but look at the spawns. You take a look at that left side of the minimap. Luminosity ready and poised for bar.
And for everybody at home, this Scum just got blessed with the hip fire bullet right there. For everybody at home, when we talk about a map like Throwback, it is a scrappy map. What we mean by that is it's very tough to hold a setup and get a full 60 at a hill. For example, Luminosity in full control. They've got the first 15 seconds, but Optic Gaming are now here to go for the contest.
I mean, we've seen a barn change hands 4 or 5 times sometimes, depending on the matchup. But here it is, the crew attacking for Optic Gaming. Formal finds 1, tries to snag the second, but Saints gets 2. Cutting down Formal and Crim6, and he's looking for more. Gets in behind several players. The streak up to 4 before he finally drops. Classic gonna be the last man to hold, and there you go. Optic Gaming gets the first break. The spawn is in the courtyard for Luminosity, and they're going to attempt the flood, Jack.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and push this right away. They've got a pinch developing from either side. Crim6, Karma, Scumball getting shot in the back. It's only Krim who's putting up a fight. And by the way, Krim has had an electric weekend, one of his best events so far in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare in the 4 series they have played. But to say this is absolutely their biggest test.
Wait, what?
I would argue that Luminosity is almost better than every team they face combined up to this point.
We're taking a look at the man Crim6 right now, who has been an absolute beast. We saw him drop on a 30-plus in 10 game. He's been a man on a mission. Formal's POV now, he's trying to get it done, looking over the top. You see on X-Ray several players in the backside just doing what he can to contest right now, but Saints, quick shoulder, he cuts him down.
He's keeping it going. This is the second time he's been close to this Trinity rocket. A couple kills away. He's going to push on through with his team, and right now everything's going right for LG Maven. They've even pushed through towards this right side of your minimap. The top right area of your minimap will be where the next hardpoint rotates to in 20 seconds. LG want to hold these spawns, and it's Saints now with the Trinity rocket, 12 and 3, a 4.0 KD.
Oh, he's 7 in a row, looking to keep that going. As much as we highlighted Octane from the Stage 1 playoffs, Saints was as crucial to that. That was the best event we've seen from him the entire year.
No, I would say in years, not just the entire year.
That could be fair, but let's see if he can keep this streak going and tally up the bombardment. Sees several mid-map, the read peek and challenge comes finally. It's none other than Formal that can cut him down. That's a big kill from Formal, though. Make sure he doesn't get the bombardment.
And Octane now with the 2 streak for himself. Look at the scoreboard. This is what has always plagued Optic Gaming as of late against LG. Everyone positive on Luminosity Gaming. Many people would argue they're the only team in competitive Call of Duty that can even do that on a consistent basis, and they're showing it right here.
This is a team built to beat Optic, and you can see why they're capable of with the slaying power they have. Slacked, here at back bus, starting to get pushed, trying to use a little bit of cover there. Nice shots go in, but it's Scump and Krim able to get the better of them. Now the push will come around the back. It's Karma trying to make some kills, not able to close it out, but Scump is there to follow it up. The contest is in, tries to snap, not able to get it done.
Yeah, and again, Crim6 with that NV4, he talked about how much better he's feeling with that weapon in hand. Right now, doing what he can, he's actually leading Optic Gaming in kills, but even he's struggling a little bit. Off game for Karma as well. 4 and 14 at the end of the first rotation. This game is all Luminosity, baby.
Luminosity cruising right now. You can hear the crowd pretty quiet as they continue to cruise. The advantage now up to 80. It's Octane and that deadly NV4 who set up mid-map. The challenge comes. Doesn't miss a bullet and able to cut down a weak Crim6 there. We're right back to mid-map, and it's Classic rolling. 12 and 10. Everybody just cruising for LG, buddy.
If Optic Gaming want to win this game, they need to begin to win the gunfights on rotation. When Formal excels in slaying, it's when he can play from the position he's comfortable in. Right now, he's trying to have to retake these hills against some of the best shooting players in competitive Call of Duty on the side of LG, and it is not a winning formula for Optic Gaming. They have out-rotated OG on every single hard point this game, and it's why they're up by almost 90 seconds.
And it's that duo that we saw from Saints and Classic that really erupted at playoffs. They were manhandling the aggressive subs from the opposition. And look at it right now. Scump's trying to hold his own, but Karma's sitting at 7 and 17. He has got to pick it up if they're going to counter what we're seeing from Classic in Saints. Now we're on with Scump, who's inside the hard point, trying to dodge nades and play his life as best he can. There's 40 seconds remaining here. You hold this full 40, you're right back in the game. But this is a difficult score to come back from. You know how scrappy and back and forth.
Exactly. It goes back to what we talked about earlier. Great point to bring up there, Maven. This is a map where it is very hard to chain together and come back from these big leads. But again, if there's any team in the game, it's Optic Gaming who can do it. And this is where you begin to worry if you're an LG fan, because this man right here, Scump on a 4 streak, trying to be the fire that ignites Optic Gaming to come back in this game.
Yeah, I was about to say, where you do it is picking up streaks as well, and he was getting awful close, but not able to do it. Slacked. All 3 members cut down from Optic Gaming. He's back inside, and you see the points continuing to tip for Luminosity.
And again on rotation, the first body there was LG, but nice job by Karma and Crimsix to finally get a couple kills to set up Optic Gaming early on. Slack just trying to stay alive so we get a pinch going for his team. It's a 1-minute lead right now for LG. They're in a very good spot in this game. Still a ton of time left in the game clock as well, just over 3 minutes, so by no means will this be ending like that. But again, we have to highlight, look at Karma, 8 and 21. Second least amount of time on his team in the objective. He needs to turn things around as this game goes on.
Yeah, because we talk about it. I mean, Karma, we know it's not the slaying that gets him through. It's the objective plays, the clutch plays, being a team leader when he needs to be. But you can't have him having games like this. He needs to sit around that 1.0 KD, which he frequently does. Right now, dragging the team down a bit. But it's not just him. There's a lot of people struggling on the Optic roster. And personally, I think that's more to highlight how good LG has been and how good the slaying prowess is on that team. Sure, we can say Optic Gaming can be off at times, but if LG blasts him at playoffs, then comes in and manhandles him here, is that an Optic Gaming thing or is that a Luminosity thing?
It's something crazy when you look at it so far. Up to this point this weekend, Maven, we have some great people behind the scenes working on stats. In the 4 hard points that Optic Gaming have played, they have outslayed their opponents by 19 kills. That is far from the case here, and look at the score because of it. If there has been a hill, though, where Optic have come back earlier on this weekend, it is right here on baseball. A full 40 seconds here would be a major difference maker.
It really would, and you know, Matt and I were talking about the fact that Optic Gaming maybe haven't been tested to this point, buddy.
What did I say earlier? When Optic rotate, Formal gets in position, there's few better at doing things like this. The 4 times multi-kill, the 7 streak, and it's because he's in the position he wants to be in. LG have to run into his sights, and there are no players in the game better than shooting than that man.
And those streaks could end up being the difference. They're bringing it back, trailing now by 30 points. Scump over the top, not able to get it done, and now it's a streak building for Slack. He's 27 and 20, just under a minute in the hard point, and 3 kills in a row here. It's going to be Luminosity back to mid-map, trying to put this out of reach from Optic Gaming.
Luminosity still have a few payloads to work with. Formal with that FTL jump, the only one on the side of Optic Gaming, but as Optic start to shoot better and better as this game goes on, you've got Scump here at +4, leading his team in the objective. They've just got to keep this close at mid-train, Maven, in my opinion. Rotate towards Barn, have the setup you want, as Formal again snaps in the 2-piece. The man's heating up now, too. He's back to even.
He's needed to. I mean, he's even, but he's gone on, what, like a 10 and 2 stretch? They need him to play like that consistently throughout to mount this comeback. 20 seconds remaining on Train. Holding the left side of the map for now is going to be Optic Gaming, so they have the spawns for Barn with Formal in this position. You see the spawns come in. Everybody pops in Barn side with 10 seconds left, and Formal continues to hold mid-map. He still has the Trinity rockets to work with. He has the FTL to work with, but now he needs to go big at mid-map. When the rotation comes in, he's at least able to pick up 1.
And he should spawn near this back market area. Oh, no, okay, so it will be a split, but this shouldn't be too bad for Optic Gaming. Crimsix will get back there in time. You've got a split push on the side of LG, lead, but there's no one here in back market.
Bro,
Optic have nobody in this position. Classic popping the camo. He's going to flood the objective. They're not ready for it. Nice break from Classic.
Nice break, but he does drop. Then a couple kills going back in fourth. Finally, who's going to be the last man standing? It's Octane that finds 2 inside, and now the spawn coming out far, all the way in blue for Optic Gaming. They have to fight back in.
Luminosity have used the active camo, reactive armor, as well as Centurion on this hard point. They want to get a full time on Barn. Optic doing what they can. If they can even just contest, try to split the rest of this time, that's best case scenario for them. But Luminosity, they invest a lot and they get a lot out of it. This lead now back up to almost 50 seconds.
Beautiful use of the payloads, and the clutch 2-piece from Octane is what get it done. Optic's getting the kills in transition, but look at the spawn in from behind. Saints just spawns it blue. Are they going to be ready for it? Okay, so a little bit of a split spawn, but it's going to be fine. They're holding the bottom side of the map, and you saw Scump rotate over to deal with it. Now over to Formal. 1 kill in mid, several more here. It's Karma that's able to answer. You only need 20 more points for Luminosity.
Saw the shadow.
Down 50 is Optic Gaming. In behind is Formal, finds 2 before dropping.
Optic try to get every second they can get. 231 to 190 right now, the lead. Luminosity, their goal, do not let this get to the baseball hard point. We know Optic, they love the setup there. It's where they excel on this map. Still though a 40-second deficit for the green wall. Karma getting pushed, not ready for the challenge from Saints. What a game he's having, Maven. 37 and 26 with almost 90 seconds in the hard point.
And Formal just invested the Trinity Rocket, so he's not going to have it if they do get the statue. You're right, he has to. Oh no, he needs 10 points, but Karma now snapping. He has Camo to work with though if they need to break. A couple ticks going the way of LG. Somebody's got to get into contest.
Just have to contest for 2 seconds, force the next hard point. Formal has done his job. Optic, now you need to fall back. Scum, get back towards your team. Get towards a new hill.
You have no payloads available for Luminosity. Karma at least has Camo to work with. This holds the big one. They at least spawn close at blue. They're trying to get back in. Here comes the collapse. Luminosity has to break now. First kill to Crim6. Octane going to be able to trade it back, but Formal here to hold the backside. Can't get the second. Where's Karma? He has the camo still. He has it. He needs to use it. Optic trying to mount an insane comeback here, Jack.
246 to 221. Karma and Formal still with payloads. LG not ready from the pinch from Crim6. It's going to be a 3-on-3. Karma with a drop on 1. Stops 2 more. 249 to 226. They cannot give up 1 more second.
He pushes blue window. This is oh, I thought it'd be perfect with the timing, but Classic able to get in and win it.
Formal's got to go big. Formal in the back has to go big for his team. They're not ready for the push. LG are in. That's it. 250 to 237. That is what we love about these two teams, though. LG strike first in our best of 5.
What an absolute nail-biter we get there. Back and forth throughout. I mean, Saints, hot from the beginning. You get a really slow start from Optic, specifically Karma. He starts to come alive towards the end, but kind of too little too late.
Think of that right there. 1 second. When you get to that 249 mark, when we talk about you have to be perfect, you have to be more than just perfect right there, especially with 4 players of LG flooding. Right there with how Optic Gaming were set up. They were setting up like they still had a few seconds to work with. There was only 1 player in the hard point. LG knew, forget everybody else. Forget Formal who's watching the back. Forget Crim6 who's right outside the hill on the front. If we kill the person in the hard point and just flood it with 3 of us, that 1 second will tick. They do just that. That was a last-second desperation push.
Well, we talk about how good these two teams are in hardpoint, how it might come down to that difference. Luminosity takes the game 1. Now, we're going to Retaliation, Search and Destroy next. The last time these guys played it was in the series at Stage 1 playoffs. That's when it being the 6-5 victory for Optic Gaming when they had the crazy comeback. What are we going to get this time? Will it be another round 11? It's looking like it's going to be an insane series, pal.
Think of the story of this Optic Gaming team across the last 2 years. When they were first formed, it was their rivalry with FaZe Clan, right? The new breed of Clayster and crew who matched them in so many finals. Also the battles they had against Denial with Hook back in Advanced Warfare. Yeah. Another big one as well. As it goes on, that FaZe rivalry continues to develop. The start of Infinite Warfare, you have E United come into play. Obviously with Gunless and some of those up-and-coming players. Now I think a new one is beginning to spread. It's LG as their new foe that they just can't seem to keep on top of.
Optic's been the final boss, right? It's basically been who's next. It's been the